All right, guys. So this story right here is whoa, wild, y'all. So take a look at this. Who is Ori Solomon? Property manager released ahead of trial in Las Vegas illegal biolab case. So there's this biolab that they found in Las Vegas, this illegal biolab. And this thing was a mess. So like, I think what happened was there was like a cleaning lady who showed up and she got like deathly sick just from being in the house. And then you had the police investigator, the first one who showed up. He also got deathly sick just from being in the house. And come to find out, there's this illegal biolab that was being operated in the house. And there was also a similar one previously. I believe it was in California. This one was in Las Vegas. And the speculation is just like the previous one. You have like vials of HIV, vials of COVID, vials of malaria, vials of Ebola, like all just sitting there in this makeshift fucking lab. And then what's going on here? Well, the property manager is this Israeli guy who was arrested and then released. Oh boy, we've seen this before. More on that in a minute too, by the way. But here's the guy. Ori Solomon, the property manager who faces charges in connection with an illegal biolab at a Las Vegas short-term rental, will be released from custody while he awaits trial. Why? Why would you release this guy? Solomon appeared in federal court on Friday afternoon and was released on his own recognizance with certain conditions. He has to surrender any passport, is not allowed to leave the country, and must notify the court if he plans to leave Clark County, and must not possess a firearm or any other weapon. Friday's hearing focused on federal firearm charges against Solomon, an Israeli citizen in the U.S. on a non-immigrant visa. Solomon is not allowed to possess firearms. Prosecutors say multiple guns were seized from his home, according to an affidavit obtained by Channel 13. Solomon also faces a criminal charge in Clark County for the improper disposal of hazardous waste. He was arrested on Saturday after local and federal investigators discovered what has been called an illegal biological lab inside a home he managed near Washington Avenue and Hollywood Boulevard. Investigators have recovered suspected biological materials and lab equipment. At this point, authorities tell us testing on those materials is still underway, and it's not clear yet what exactly was found. Documents obtained by Channel 13 amid this ongoing investigation shed more light on who Solomon is. Investigators say they were tipped off by someone who worked at the home on Sugar Springs Drive. Days later, police identified Solomon as the property manager. Quote, "We have no knowledge that he had any expertise in that area or he's somewhat of a trained biologist. No," said Chris Del Zotto, special agent in charge of the FBI's Las Vegas field office. Authorities say Solomon works for a Chinese citizen named Bei Zhu, who goes by the alias David He. Property records identified Zhu as the owner of the home on Sugar Springs Drive. He is jailed in California and faces charges related to a 2023 investigation into an illegal laboratory in Reedley, California, near Fresno. In a warehouse linked to Zhu, investigators found pathogens, including samples of COVID and other diseases, as well as hundreds of transgenic mice and boxes of adulterated and misbranded medical tests, which Zhu is accused of illegally selling. Investigators say much of what was found in the Reedley warehouse is consistent with materials found in the so-called lab in Las Vegas. They also claim Solomon manages more than 30 rental properties in the valley. It could take months to find out why the materials and equipment were there or what they were being used for. We'll continue to follow up, blah, 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 blah. So, I don't know, man. Seems kind of like a big deal to have like vials of HIV and malaria and COVID-19 and Ebola and shit laying around. And so, when people heard the property owner was Chinese, there was a lot of talk about this, right? As soon as people learned the property manager was Israeli, all of a sudden everybody started talking about it, which is classic. Classic. How many articles have you seen calling Jeffrey Epstein part of Russian intelligence, right? And none of those articles bring up the Mossad ties, the Israeli ties. It's so crazy how like consistent it is. It'll be like drop site news telling the truth and then like nobody else, right? Same here. Everybody be like, oh, Chinese owner. As soon as they realize person managing the property, Israeli, nobody talks about it, okay? But this reminds me of this story. Remember this? Israeli official Alexandrovich skips U.S. court hearing on child sex charges. Judge denies lawyers' claim that Israeli official could skip arraignment for child sex crime charges in Nevada. So there was a sting, and this Israeli guy was trying to have sex with kids, and what ended up happening? He was arrested and then freed, and he fled to Israel, like, immediately. Okay? He failed to appear for a scheduled court hearing in his case weeks after he returned to Israel, prompting concerns that he may have fled to avoid facing trial. Tom Artyom Alexandrovich's lawyer, David Chesnov, told the court in Nevada on Wednesday, this is from months back, by the way, that he told his client not to attend the hearing. Quote, "He was instructed by me they didn't have to be here. However, Judge Barbara Shifalakwa was quick to shut down the suggestion, stressing that suspects released on bond like Alexandrovich have to make every court appearance. I'm looking at his bond document that indicate the court appearance that he ordered to appear at was today, Shifalakwa told Chesnov. And so your oral, I guess, request without anything before the court is to waive his appearance here today is hereby denied. So understand what happened here. Israeli guy gets caught in a sting trying to have sex with kids. Since he's tied to the Israeli government, higher forces step in. They basically get him out. He immediately flees to Israel. And then they go ahead, lawyer, go say that I have the right to do this. The lawyer says that to the judge. The judge goes, the fuck you do? No, he absolutely has to be here. So you see what happened here? Why is it every time we find some Israeli committing some brazen crime out in the open, they somehow get let out, like, immediately? Why is that? Why is it nobody is talking about the connections of Jeffrey Epstein to Mossad and Israel? Why is that? Now we have illegal biolabs run by Israelis, which have HIV and fucking COVID-19 and all sorts of malaria, all sorts of illnesses, and people are going, well, yeah, let him out. Like, he can get it. What? Like, no, in all seriousness, what the fuck is this? What is this? And look, you can't help but talk about how we know how much Israel has infiltrated our government. Forget just the Israel lobby. I'm talking about actual infiltration. I'm talking about the president being blackmailed. He could be extorted. He could be coerced. Because we know there's videos of him with underage girls that Mossad has and other intelligence agencies around the world have, okay? Have you ever wondered why Trump has never broken with Israel ever on anything? Have you ever wondered? Well, that's probably fucking why, right? But that begs the question, how many other people do they have dirt on? Is there somebody in Las Vegas who, hey, the person who decided to let him out, is that like, hey, we also have dirt on you. You better let this motherfucker out and let him go to Israel, right? I mean, this is true infiltration into our country. It really is. It really is. And at this point, it's not conspiratorial. I'm just giving you the information that we're learning in these different cases. It is a fact that this Israeli guy was caught in a sex sting and then was let out and went to Israel. That's a fact. And then he said, I don't have to go to the trial, and he did have to go to the trial. That's a fact, okay? It's a fact that the guy who ran the biolab, the illegal biolab, is Israeli. What are you doing with that stuff? What are you doing with that stuff? How many times have we heard these people say, like, oh man, I guess they need another 9/11 in the U.S. to remember, right? In other words, you better attack Iran or else. You better do our bidding or else. You better launch the war with the Islamic world or else. I guess they need another 9/11 to teach them. Like, creepy. Absolutely fucking creepy. Absolutely disturbing. And they're trying to fucking bury the conversation about this biolab. And I love how they're just talking about it matter-of-factly as if it's not like a huge deal. No, this is a motherfucking huge deal. This is a gigantic deal. And more people should be talking about it.
Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.